Break that door!
What are you doing here?
Getting you out.
When consoles launch, it's usually a good point for both first and third-party developers to start brand new franchises. Microsoft did this back with Halo on the original Xbox, and Sony did it with Resistance and Uncharted on the PS3. But when the 360 was new, there was one game on everyone's mind, Gears of War. It was an awesome game, and its sequel pleased fans and critics alike. Now that we're coming to the end of this generation, it would make sense that the finale of the Gears trilogy is out. Not only is it the best game in the series, it's one of the best games this generation. This is Gears of War 3 for the Xbox 360.
That thing can't take a hit.
Gears of War 3 still follows Marcus Fenix and his buddies like Dom and Cole, but unlike the previous installments, this one has a very, very dark tone. The first two games weren't exactly cheery experiences, but there was a lot of humor mixed into the action. As Gears of War 3 features an even more depressing narrative, this isn't the case. It's a very serious affair. Yes, a one-liner will occasionally be cracked, but the tone of the game definitely seems more mature. I worried about this game taking itself too seriously, but it does work really well. That being said, I did occasionally start cracking up when the camera zoomed in on Marcus and his stupid soul patch.
I still couldn't save my father. Run! But you can't save them all.
Gameplay in Gears of War 3 should feel very similar to fans of the first two games in the series. You're still shooting from a third-person perspective, you still use the A button for cover and running, and you can still use the chainsaw on your Lancer to the Locust Horde. Although the gameplay style isn't really any different from past games, it feels refined to a level that few games on the market can do. The frame rate during the action is extremely high, and weapons feel absolutely perfect, definitely an improvement from the last game. The only thing I still don't like, and this goes for the other two games, is having to pull out grenades before I toss them and then going back to my gun. It should really be a dedicated button. Gears of War 3 also features an online multiplayer mode, but the biggest change that Epic made for this game is the much improved Horde mode. It feels much more accessible to people who may not have been familiar to the mode before, and the defense elements really add a nice level of strategy. In addition, enemy types are varied and offer a nice challenge, but it doesn't feel unfair. If you don't want enemies to explode and kill you, shoot them before they get to you. The game uses a currency system that feels a little bit like the one in Nazi Zombies, so you'll be able to buy new barriers or weapons based on how many enemies you've killed. Visually, Gears of War 3 isn't a huge jump from the previous game in the series. That's not to say that it doesn't look good. It naturally looks really good, but as the 360 is an aging piece of hardware, there's only so much you can do with it. Cutscenes can occasionally feature some flicker or screen tearing, but none of this seems to affect the actual gameplay.
Holy sh**! What the hell's that?
It's not a stock!
Look out! It's coming back!
Gears of War 3 is a tremendous game, and with it, Epic finally managed to separate the Gears franchise from other shooters. There's a reason why this has sold so well. It's really, really, really good.
Come on, Dom. Armor up.
I've got crops to take care of. If we don't grow it, we don't eat it, remember?
I think the radishes can cope without you for a while.
Okay, let's get this over with.